Hey everyone, this is Jay Thomas with the next chapter of Digital Greed. I am still talking about trading within the online game. This one deals a lot with people who are trading their in-game items for actual money outside of the game and being against the rules of the game, some of the stuff the game decided to do to restrict this type of trading. Alright, so as I kept playing this game, it became clearer and clearer to me that more people became involved with this real money trading and gold farming. So a lot of people began doing this, especially people from third world countries who could actually make more money playing online games and selling their items for real money than they can working in jobs in their own country. So this huge market formed where these people would play the game, and then they'd have like one person that would accumulate all the items from all the people working under them, and then they would sell to traders, particularly like me, who would buy from them for a slightly lower price in market, and then I would spend the rest of the day selling them for like a 5% spread. A lot of these people, they made the full profit on what they sold to me, and then they'd take the gaming currency that I gave them for those items, and then they would take that and sell it on third-party websites, and they would get actual US dollars or whatever currency they want for their in-game items. So this became so prevalent that the game decided to add many restrictions to the game to stop as much of this real money trading as possible. So the first thing they did was they added trade limits. A trade between, so they stopped people being able to just give people items. You couldn't give someone 1 million game GC anymore. They had to be within a certain range, and I think that range was around 30,000 GC. So if the trade was unbalanced, the game would not let it go through. And in order to set these, so in order to do this, each item had to have a set price. What is this item worth? And the game would calculate each trade individually, see if it was within that realm, and then after it looked like it was balanced, the game would let it go through. And at first you might think, well, how can you trade in a market like this? Aren't you trying to buy lower, sell higher? How can a trader continue to be successful in an environment where the trades like that were so restricted? Well, it actually became much better, and I'll get into that in the next video. But the way they did this was the way they did the price discovery was the central exchange. So you could add or I call it the central market in most of these, but basically there was a marketplace opened where you could buy and sell items within the central exchange with anyone in the game at a time. So you could go to this, you could say, I want such and such item, you'd put in a price, let's say 1,000 GC. If anyone else in the game was trying to sell it on the market for 1,000 GC, you would buy it from them. If not, your order would stay there as a limit order until someone sold it to you. Now you could only place items on this central market within 5% of the suggested price. So if the suggested price was 1,000 GC, you could trade it for between 950 and 1,050 GC. They also decided that they didn't want that spread to be too large because these real money traders could probably get around it by just trading it much higher or much lower than the suggested price. So that 5% spread limit was added to constrain the price within that range. So very, very big regulations on trading within the market, all purely to stop this real money trading. And this all proved to me how much people can actually value digital items. This was before cryptocurrency was even created, and there was still a large percentage of the gaming population that bought and sold their items for actual money. So this is kind of, in my mind, getting me ready to trade cryptocurrency. So with all these restrictions actually changing a lot of the game on a fundamental level, it was just very interesting to see how many people were involved with this. Just because some people were actually playing the game solely to make money from third world countries, as I mentioned earlier, and upon doing more research into this, this was a multi-billion-dollar industry across all games. I looked up, well, how many people are actually doing this in the game I'm playing. What about other games? How big of a industry is this? And it turned out there was a multi-billion-dollar industry. Some people even made money solely buying and selling items within games, and they took a spread on that. So they didn't even play the games. They just bought and sold items across many games and made profit like that. But so these rules added to the game fundamentally changed large aspects to the game, and it caused a lot of outrage. A lot of people quit over stuff like this. But the game was so intent on stopping this real money trading, and they had no other choice but to try to implement some of these rules. And as we'll see later, they were not very effective because people were able to find a way around these restrictions. But this all just goes to show that the trading within the game was about to change abruptly, and a lot of the extent to how much people were involved with this. And this is one of the reasons why I did invest in cryptocurrency eventually, just seeing the extent to how much it was already going on within online games.